mechanisms involved in maintaining the equilibrium of ecosystems. So, there are some mechanisms which are responsible for the maintenance of this equilibrium we discussed in the first part of the video, biosphere video. Let's move to the next topic, flow of energy and nutrition. There is a flow of energy and nutrition. What are the energy sources we have? Sources of energy. The main source of energy on the earth is sunlight, sun's energy, energy from the sun. Sun is the source, its energy is sunlight. The sunlight contains light energy and heat energy. Two types of energy, light energy and heat energy. So, the energy source of all ecosystems in the biosphere is the sun. So, sun is the main energy source of all the ecosystem, all the biosphere. Flow of energy and nutrient among ecosystem is essential for the existence of the biosphere. So energy flow, this sun's energy flows in a chain or a web, flows in a chain or a web. That kind of chain is known as food chain, and that kind of web is known as food web. Food web consists of several of food chains. So let's see the definition of food web. So food web. Food web is the mutual relationships for food among organisms. Mutual means it includes a relationship between two organisms. Mutual. Two organisms from A to B and between A and B or B and A. So, for food among organisms. For what? For food. It is referred to as food webs. These food web consist of several food chains. There are many food chains. They are interconnected in a web-like structure in the biosphere. Due to this relationship, an organism is free to depend on different types of food. So, due to this relationship, each and every organism have different food habits. Some are predators, some are prey. Prey, prey. So, and also this helps to avoid bioaccumulation of organisms. It avoids what? Bioaccumulation of organisms. An example for food web is given in the figure. This is the figure. So let's see. These food webs start primary producers. It starts by a primary producer which is a plant. So we can see some grasses are there, some plants are there. It is the beginning of this food web or food chains. Let's see one food chain. Rats eat rice grass. Rice is a grass. Okay. Rice family is a Poaceae or Gramineae family. It is a grass. This grass is eaten by rats. These rats are consumed by hawk. Hawk means some kind of eagle-shaped bird, large bird, hawk. This hawk and also rats were consumed by hornbills, another small bird. These hornbills were consumed by python, and pythons are consumed by hawks. So this is a web, interconnected, entangled web. Food web consists of interconnected in entangled food chains. So let's see another one. Plants, rabbit. Grasses were eaten by rabbits. Rabbits like to eat mung beans. They very much like to eat. Soybeans, they like to eat. They like to eat legumes. And these rabbits are eaten by hawks or pythons. Pythons are eaten by hawk again, no? Likewise, there are several food chains in this diagram. You can write down in a list as a list. So you should build up a food web in a pond ecosystem. There are in a pond. Let's see. Let's build some food web with several food chains. First, we write food chains. Then we can connect. No, there are mosses in the pond. These mosses are eaten by small fishes. Small fishes. The small fishes are eaten by large goldfish-like fishes. No, not goldfish. Calf-like fishes. Large fishes. These large fishes were eaten by. They are eaten by. We can say pythons. Python. Again, we can pair python. These python are eaten by eagles or hawks. So it is one food chain. Let's see another food chain. There are lotus flowers, no? Lotus plants. Lotus plants are there. From lotus plants, from the flowers, bees and ants, what are they doing? Ants, bees, they drink nectar. So the nectar is consumed by ants, and then ants are consumed by who? Maybe frogs on the pond. Then these frogs are eaten by snakes. Again, the snakes are eaten by whom? The snakes are eaten by eagles or owls. Likewise, there are so many food chains. These food chains can be integrated. Pythons eat frogs. No, there is two connection between these two food chains. Pythons eat frogs. Frogs are consumed by pythons. Snakes are also eaten by eagles. Snakes are eaten by eagles. So likewise, there is interconnected or entangled food chains in a food web. I hope you can understand my lesson. If you have any question, you can mention in the comment section. So let's move into the definition of a food chain. Okay, you have to remember with an example. Food chain. The sequence of energy. Sequence is an order. Sequence means order. Okay, or one after another. Order, sequence of energy and materials. Energy means maybe heat energy built up by the digestion of food. Sun's energy. And the materials means the chemical components inside the nutrients inside the food. Materials flow from producers. Producers are normally plants. Okay, there are several algae and also bacteria and fungi also there, but mainly so many producers are plants to consumers. Other the components of food chain or food webs who do not produce food or do not photosynthesize are known as consumers. Consumers such as primary consumer. Primary consumers are the person or the animal who consume the primary producer who consume primary producer is known as primary consumer. First consumer in the chain is known as primary consumer. First producer is grass, no? Grass. Then first consumer, primary consumer. Primary means first. This first consumer is grasshopper. Then after that, toad means some kind of frogs. Okay, toads. And toads are consumed by cobra, so their grass is the primary producer and grasshopper is the primary consumer. There are only one producer. Therefore, we can say just producer. Grass is the producer. There is primary consumer, grasshopper, secondary consumer, toad or the frog, and tertiary producer. Who's the tertiary producer in here? Cobra. Cobra is the tertiary producer. Tertiary. The spellings are like this. Tertiary. Tertiary consumer is cobra. Tertiary consumer is cobra, and hawk is the final consumer or the fourth consumer. No? Fourth consumer. So likewise. So the fourth consumer is known as what? Known as quaternary consumer. Fourth one. You can remember it, okay? So let's move into the next page. In the next page, there is a diagram of the above mentioned food chain. Grass is there as the producer. Primary consumer is grasshopper. Secondary consumer is toad or the frog. Tertiary consumer is cobra. And quaternary consumer is hawk. So there is another assignment. You can do it at home. Observe different modes of nutrition consumed by different organisms in the environment. Write down their relationships for food. So let's move into the trophic level. Trophic level. Every organism belongs to a certain trophic level according to their mode of nutrition. According to the mode of nutrition, trophic levels are there. Let's see. The links of a food chain are known as trophic level. That means the links of the food chain. Here we can see links, no? 1, 2, arrows represent the links or the trophic levels. Trophic levels are represented by these arrows. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 trophic levels in this example food chain. So the links of a food chain are known as trophic levels. The number of trophics of a food chain cannot be exactly predicted. Yes, we cannot exactly predict it in a food chain. In a food web, it is very much difficult. Most often, it is less than 5 links. Most often, in a food chain, it is less than 5 links. In the previous one, we had 4 food chains. Somehow, the organisms belong to last trophic level would be carnivorous predators. Carnivorous predators, that means the animal who eat the prey, prey. They are known as predators. Predators consume prey. Prey are consumed by predators. So, the animal who ate flesh or meat by killing other animals are known as carnivorous animals or plants. There are some carnivorous plants also, like Badura, Nilmonarassa like plants are. Diptera, I can't exactly remember the scientific name of Badura plant. You have to research it at home. All organisms can be divided into three groups on the basis of their new mode of nutrition. Trophic level, according to the belong to a certain trophic level according to the mode of nutrition. Let's see the definition of mode of nutrition. So definition, there are certain three types of mode of nutrition. You have to remember it. Nutrition types. So first one is autotrophs, second one is heterotrophs, the third one is decomposers. Let's see one by one. Autotrophs. Autotrophs are the organisms such as green plants. Green plants, green algae also there. Some bacteria, cyanobacteria also there, bacteria and cyanobacteria, which can transform simple inorganic compounds. Simple inorganic compounds. Inorganic compounds means like carbon dioxide, like H2O, inorganic compounds. They can be converted or transformed into organic compounds like carbohydrates or the food we eat. This is the definition of photosynthesis. That means by photosynthesis, green plants can produce food or the carbohydrate by using inorganic compounds like H2O and CO2, water and carbon dioxide. I hope you did understand it. They are known as autotrophs. These kind of organisms are known as autotrophs. According to the energy source used to produce their food, autotrophs can be divided into two groups. According to the energy source used to produce their food, autotrophs can be divided into two groups. What are they? They are photoautotrophs or chemoautotrophs. Green plants are photoautotrophs. Some bacteria are chemoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs. Okay. Green plants produce organic compounds or the food by using the photo means light. Okay, light. What meaning of the word photo means light, that means sunlight. Using the sun's energy, green plants photosynthesize and make food. So some cyanobacteria and some bacteria produce this convert inorganic compounds into organic compounds using chemical energy, chemoautotrophs. They are chemoautotrophs. You have to remember the definitions. Let's move into the definition of the heterotrophs. The animals that cannot produce their own food are known as heterotrophs. The animals who cannot produce their own food are known as heterotrophs. They can't produce their own food. They have to consume other animal or other plants or bacteria like microbes. They depend on food produced by other organisms. Therefore, they are known as consumers. Okay. Then the meaning, the synonym or the similar word for heterotrophs is consumers. The consumers are further divided as follows. Primary consumers, they are herbivores. They feed on producers. No, they feed on plants. Therefore, they are herbivores. And secondary consumers, they are carnivores. They are carnivores. They can be omnivores too, because humans eat both plants and animals. Humans like animals are humans like animals, like mammals and humans. These kinds of animals are carnivores and are omnivores. Omnivores. That means they can eat. Omnivores means they can eat both flesh and plants, plant-based food. Okay. I hope you did understand it. If you have any question, please mention in the comment. Please email to me. My email is in the description, and I will type my email here too. My email is biocharita@gmail.com. You can contact me at any time. You can put email. Please mention your name and your contact details if you want when writing the email. So let's see three types of primary consumers are there. Primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary. They are the consumers of heterotrophs. Okay. The tertiary consumers are always carnivores. Decomposers feed on bodies of dead organisms, dead plants and dead animals. They feed. So saprophytes like bacteria and fungi. Bacteria and fungi belong to this group. Saprophytes. They convert complex organic compounds into simple compounds. They are known as decomposers. The definition of decomposers means decomposers. That means complex compounds, organic compounds are converted into simple compounds. Complex organic compounds are converted into simple organic compounds by decomposers. You have to remember it. This process is known as decomposition. Okay, I hope you did understand. There is a dead animal on the earth. It is decomposed by bacteria and fungi, and the remaining is only the bones. The skeletal system is remained. Ecological pyramid. Let's move into the next topic. Ecological pyramids. Ecological pyramids can be built up using number of organisms, biomass and energy relationships. You have to study about biomass and energy relationships in different trophic levels of an ecosystem here. Okay, there are three types of ecological pyramids: number pyramid, biomass pyramid, energy pyramid. You have to by heart this: number pyramid, biomass pyramid, energy pyramid. You have to remember it, okay? Because in that exam you will just ask what are the three types of ecological pyramids: number pyramid, biomass pyramid, energy pyramid. Number pyramid. Let's see about the number pyramid. The graphical representation of number of organisms in different trophic level is called number pyramid. It is expressed as the number of organisms per square meter. Number of organisms per square meter. That means in a 1 square meter, what is the number of organisms in 1 square meter? It is denoted by number pyramid. So an upright number pyramid is shown in this figure. Let's see the figure 15.10. Figure 15.10. So upright number pyramid. Okay, let's see upright one. This is an upright one. That means producer's number is very high. Let's see. There are so many grasses, 1,000 grasses in 1 square meter, and 200. Let's say 1 square meter, not square meter, one unit. In 1 unit, there are 1,000 grasses and 200 crickets, not the sports. Crickets are some kind of insects similar to grasshoppers, but they somewhat different. 200 crickets and 30 cockles are some birds, 30 birds, small birds. And hawks, there are only 3 hawks. So you can see when going from the producer to the final consumer, 1, 2, 3. Third, tertiary consumer, you can see the number of organisms is reduced. So this is an upright number pyramid. You have to remember the word and the shape. Upright. And let's see inverted number pyramid in the 15.11 figure. Okay. This is inverted number pyramid. Inverted. There is only one producer, coconut tree, and their primary consumer is 8 coconut beetles. 8 coconut beetles. Secondary consumer is insect parasite. There are 23 parasites who consume on the coconut beetles. So when going from the producer to the secondary consumer, the number of organisms have been increased. Okay, you have to remember that. Inverted number pyramid and upright number pyramid. They are the two types of number pyramids we have. Number pyramid means it represents the number of organisms per square meter. Number of organisms per square meter. Biomass pyramid. The graphical representation that shows the total amount of organic matter. Total amount of organic matter present in different trophic levels is called biomass pyramid. By considering the dry dry mass is here considered. Okay, what is called dry mass? Dry mass. What is called dry mass? Dry mass means when an substance or material or dead matter from plant to animal is dried up at 105 Celsius degree, and we get for a long period of time we get dry mass. We can measure the dry mass. Okay, there is a certain procedure you will learn it in another lesson. And dry mass of organism is expressed as grams per square meter per year. Okay, grams per square meter per year is the unit of biomass pyramid. And let's see this biomass pyramid. In the biomass pyramids, plants mass is 12 kilogram. Let's say 12 kilogram or 12,000 grams. 12 kilograms of plants are there. I think here are some plants, primary producers. Then primary consumers are the herbivores. Some herbivores, their mass is 2.6 kilos. And secondary consumers only 0.195 grams. And tertiary consumers is 20 grams. So this is the dry mass, okay? Not the mass with water. Our body contains more than 65%, more than 70% of water. By removing this water, you will only have the 30% of dry body. So this is the dry weight, okay? Which is because therefore the weight is very low. This weight of these tertiary consumers, so these hogs and birds is around 20 grams. It is due to the dry weight, okay? Dry mass. You have to remember it. If not, you will ask how it is possible 20 grams and hawk, an eagle 20 grams? No, it is the dry weight after removal of all the water in the body, okay? After drying up of all the body under 105 Celsius degrees for many hours, for around 48 hours or maybe 24 hours. Likewise, there is a specific oven in the laboratory. Electric oven is there for drying up purpose. And energy pyramid is the next type of pyramid. The graphical representation that shows the amount of energy flows through different trophic levels is called energy pyramid. It is expressed as kilojoules per square meters. Kilojoules per square. You have to remember these units. At the exam, you will be asked. Only 10% of the energy. Okay, you have to remember in an energy pyramid, energy is from one tropical level to another tropical level, the next upper tropical level, the next tropical level, only 10% of energy is passed. 90% of the energy is waste to the environment as feces, as other methods. It will be urinated and also it will be discharged into the environment. Therefore, the energy in the upper trophic levels is less than the lower trophic levels. You have to remember where the energy is high. Energy is high in the lower trophic levels of an food chain, of an food pyramid, of an energy pyramid. For not for a pyramid, the energy pyramid. Okay, so the energy pyramids are always upright. Okay, are always upright. That means uh, plants or the producers have 10,000 joules and primary consumers have 1,000 joules of energy. 10% is there, no? 10% out of 10,000 is 10, just 1,000. Okay, 10% out of 1,000 is 100 joules, and 10% of 100 joules is 10 joules. So this is an upright energy pyramid. There are only upright pyramids in the energy pyramids, as the energy pyramids. Flow of energy through ecosystem. The main source of biosphere is the sun. I previously mentioned the main energy source in the biosphere is the sun. Green plants absorb sunlight and use carbon dioxide and H2O or water like inorganic materials, inorganic compounds as raw materials to produce food, to produce organic compounds like glucose. This process of fixing energy, storing energy. Fixing means storing energy of sunlight is called photosynthesis. So the energy fixed by producers passes from one organism to another along trophic levels. Only 10% of energy of lower tropical level will be passed into the upper trophic levels. 90% of energy is lost as heat energy, mainly as heat energy. Energy dissipation. What is called energy dissipation? Dissipation. Let's see. Energy dissipation. The loss of energy during transferring energy from one trophic level to next. The loss of energy is known as dissipation. That means 90% loss equals to energy dissipation. So let's see this diagram. Here, energy stored in body tissues is only 10%. It is moved into the upper level. And energy obtained from food is 100%. Out of that 100, only 10% is stored in body tissues. Other emits as with fecal matter or the feces after the end of the digestive system. At the end of the digestion process, the energy emitted with feces 30% be as excretory materials. Okay, energy expanded for respiration is 60%. So 60% is respirated, and 30% is discharged as feces and excretory materials, urine and feces. So this energy stored in the body tissues, 10% is passed into the upper level. As a considerable amount of energy is lost during the flow of energy from one trophic level to the next. The shorter food chains are efficient than longer food chains. Shorter food chains are very efficient. That means food chains with less number of links, less number of arrows are efficient than longer food chain. They are very effective, efficient. They will win the match. Okay. Less number of links having food chains will win the match, win the competition. A short food chain is plant, elephant, leopard. It is very short and energy flow is very efficient. You can calculate the energy. Okay. Here is 10,000 joules, out of that 1,000 joules and 100 joules. So the end consumer, last consumer has 100 joules. Here it is very low because the number of food chains and number of links are high. So the next topic is 15.22 biogeochemical cycle. Before that, you should make a small booklet with these topics in this lesson. First we have food web, and then have food chains, then have trophic levels, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and decomposers. You can build up a booklet, small booklet with around 10 pages. You can, using 10 pages, you should make. Using A4 sheets, decomposers and what ecological pyramids are also. There are 3 types of pyramids. You have to draw the 3 types of pyramids. And please make that booklet. I will explain more about the 15.22 lesson in my third part of this video. Please subscribe.